Hey everybody, Shane here, Shoebox Legends. Thanks for joining me today for another episode. This is going to be the story of not only a couple of awesome pickups that I am so excited to unveil, featuring a favorite player of mine, but also of me flipping cards in my own collection to make an acquisition, which is something I really love to do. And lastly, it's a couple of cards, or these couple of cards have a story that go with them because they were purchased from a friend of mine that I've made in the YouTube community here and in the collecting community. So a great example of what I've heard others talk about constantly, and I have as well, which is that immersing yourself on these platforms and getting to know other collectors, it not only makes your own collecting experience more enjoyable, but it provides opportunity for you as well to better your collection, and in this case, help others. It was a win-win, and so we'll get to that. So let's talk about this purchase. So I had a little bit of extra money. If you watched my video earlier in the week, I showed that Nolan Ryan buyback card in the background, as well as that Hope Diamond Anniversary next to it there. And when those two cards came available within the same week, I looked around my collection and I started listing cards quickly because I wanted to raise some cardboard capital, so to speak, to go after those two big Nolan Ryan cards. In the end, I was able to get both of those for a price that I thought was better than expected, and I made more sales than I had counted on. So had a little bit of money left over from the 56 Topps Willie Mays that I referenced in that video. And then alongside that, I also sold a 52 Bowman Yogi Berra in a PSA 2. That one was a little tough to let go because I love 52 Bowman, but again, I'm not going to collect every Yogi Berra card. I have others like this one that I enjoy more. And that particular Berra, I didn't have time to record it. I had to ship it out relatively quickly. But I assure you, it was not a very flattering looking PSA 2. Barely had a border along the top and left, pretty rounded corners, and the colors weren't great. So it was a card that I parted with. And then lastly, I sold my Hank Aaron 1968 Topps All-Star card in a PSA 7. Relatively high grade for a 60s card, but the All-Star cards don't demand quite as much. I had had it for many years, and when I, about a year or two ago, acquired the 68 Aaron base card that you see in the background, that All-Star card really became a little more expendable to me. I'm not going to go deep on Hank Aaron where I collect all of his graded All-Star and subset cards or anything like that, so sold that one as well. And as you know, is often the case, coincidence here in the hobby, when I had some of those funds available, kind of trying to figure out what I wanted to do with them, I heard from a buddy of mine who I've really gotten to know well over the last few months, or maybe the last year or so in particular, Jason over at Contrarian Cards. And he was looking to move a couple of cards of somebody that he knows is a favorite player of mine. He hit me up off eBay. We went back and forth a bit. He gave me a great deal and we agreed on the sale. So this is the note that Jason included. I'm going to read this really quickly, but hey Shane, thanks again for the easy deal on the Mookie Betts cards. Spoiler there. Really appreciate you, and I know these cards are going to a good home. You already know this, but the sale of these cards to you is going directly into another PC card for me. It's always tough to make decisions about what to sell and what to keep when you enjoy everything that you have. Sending cards to someone you know appreciates them makes it a much easier process for sure. Collecting Mookie Betts has been a blast for me, and I look forward to buying his cards for a very long time. What a year he's having prior to probably not going to take the MVP, but either way, it has been great to watch him sort of take over that position as perhaps the most steady and established player in the game. I agree with that. Very well said, Jason. I threw in a few extras here. First, the 1989 Leesley Pizza Hut, Nebraska, Johnny Rogers. So check this out. We'll do that in this order since these are kind of like the appetizers. This is a Pop 5 with none higher and none lower because I'm the only person who's ever graded it, and I sent 5 copies in. Just got this back from PSA like yesterday. I did see this in Jason's PSA reveal video and figured Shane could use a little taste of the Midwest in his PC. Johnny Rogers was a Heisman Trophy winner. How awesome is that? At Nebraska in '72, and had sort of a defining moment in what was called the game of the century in 1971 when he returned a kick for a touchdown in Nebraska's 35-31 victory over Oklahoma. You should look that play up on YouTube. I will definitely do that. He was a member of the 70 and 71 national championship teams, and in a state with no professional sports, he remains sort of a local legend, I suppose. P.S. If you're watching Shane read this on YouTube, I have 4 more of these for sale on eBay. Well, maybe 3 more because I'll probably keep one. Anyway, and then the other throw-in that he goes into, I had no idea this existed. This is so awesome. Next, the Mookie and LeBron Topps Now card. Did you buy one of these for yourself? No, I did not. I had no idea this even existed, but I love it. If so, well, now you have 2. If not, well, now you have 1. Not much to say here. It is Mookie Betts and LeBron James on the same piece of cardboard. Always appreciate talking cards with you, Shane, and hope you enjoy the Mookie cards. Take care, buddy. Jason at Contrarian Cards. So how cool is this? Did not know this existed. I'll confess I don't do a good job of keeping up with the Topps Now releases. It's kind of like overload with a number of these that come out every week. But I do love having select cards from this set in my collection. I've shown some before in rummages and otherwise, and this is the exact type of card that I would look to add. So pumped to have this. LeBron and Mookie, 2 LA icons on the same card. Just awesome throw-in. Neither of those were necessary, but they're both much appreciated, Jason. And now we get to the 2 big pickups. Jason was really fair on his pricing with these, and I'm just so excited to have both. We'll start with this one, the 2020 Topps Finest Mookie Betts Gold Refractor. And this is graded an SGC 10 as well. This is a card that I know Jason acquired on his own and submitted. I remember seeing it in a SGC submission reveal video, I believe, on his channel. Not a whole lot I can say here. I'm just a sucker for gold to 50, as many collectors are. As Jason said in his note, and I wholeheartedly agree, I feel like Mookie Betts is right up there with Mike Trout or anyone else that you can name for as far as 21st century collectability and kind of titans of the game and of the hobby. You know, Pujols and Ichiro I'd put in that category. But I think Betts is definitely proven that he belongs in the same breath as those guys. And yeah, getting a card to 50 of him, in an SGC 10, this was really the throw-in card. The other one that we're going to look at in a second was the main impetus, what I was the most excited about. And if I wasn't able to reach a deal with Jason for both of them, I would have only gone with the second card. But again, he was very fair. Really appreciate him dealing straight with me and happily added this finest gold Mookie Betts to the collection. And then the final card in today's video, and again, couldn't be happier. This is the one that really drew me to this offer to begin with. I've talked before about my love of the Topps Independence Day parallels. These started back in 2018. They've been in the flagship set every year since, and they are numbered to just 76 to symbolize the year of the founding of our country. I love their tie to our national pastime and our country. I think they're perfect in that sense. And unlike, no offense to the gold card here, which is great, but I've heard Jason make this point as well. Unlike gold to 50, of which there are now probably 30 of those released every year, Independence Day is it. It's one parallel. There are 76 of them for each player each year, and that is it for at least the past 5 years now. And I find that to be really cool. So I've gabbed enough. Let's reveal this one here before we get to the 10-minute mark. The 2019 Topps Independence Day Mookie Betts. Copy 75 of 76. What a glorious Mookie Betts card. I mean, I have a lot of Betts stuff. I've collected them, honestly, going all the way back to 2014. Not, hardcore the whole time, but picking up the occasional card here and there. So I have a pretty extensive Betts collection, but this one immediately goes right into, the list of probably certainly my top 20 and possibly my top 10 Mookie Betts cards with this acquisition. These parallels are not created equal every year. I agree with that. It's something I've heard mentioned a lot, but unfortunately, the last couple of years, while they're still numbered to 76, they kind of lack just the visual appeal and just really broad stroke, bright colors of the 2018 and 2019 releases. Those first 2 years of Independence Day in particular are just awesome. I love this photo. I love that it's team color matching with the flag design and the Red Sox. There's just nothing not to like here. I'm beyond honored to be one of the 76 owners of that Mookie Betts card. And more so than that, I really appreciate your friendship, Jason. It's been awesome getting to know you. Your channel is fantastic. You've motivated me in a lot of ways in terms of how I view my collection, and actually helped me to become better at selling parts of my collection to fund other cards that I want more. That's something that I was almost allergic to for like the first 10 years or so that I was in the hobby. I've gotten a lot better about it recently, and I'm reaping the rewards of that with a lot of the cards that you've seen in the background or featured in today's video. So thank you, Jason. Thank you to everybody else for tuning in. Please check out Contrarian Cards. I'll leave a link below. And he is currently in the midst of his annual top 100 cards in his collection countdown, which is something that I cannot recommend enough. So definitely head over, give him a sub. And in the meantime, I'll be back soon with some more sports card content. Take care and enjoy the hobby, everybody.